In this video, I will show you how to set up, format, and create dynamic dashboards in Excel without using pivot tables. You will learn how to save your branding colors, apply custom themes, and turn your charts into templates you can reuse in future projects. These dashboards use 10 different chart types and a set of 15 professional color themes that work well for any business or project. A copy of this dashboard template is available in my Etsy store. With any dashboard, the first step is always your data. Collecting it, cleaning it, formatting, and preparing the key calculations. You don't just want a beautiful dashboard. You also want your underlying data to be clean, readable, and professionally presented. These formatting steps will help you turn plain data into something that looks polished and easy to read. Start by choosing a clean, readable font. I have been liking 𝗟𝗲 Gothic lately. To see the entire worksheet while working, I will freeze panes. Next, add calculations for key performance indicators, KPIs, such as total sales or units sold. Then make sure your data units are set correctly. Convert dollar amounts to currency and specify decimal places. Set ratios like profit margins to percentages. Make sure quantities such as units, employee counts, or product returns are formatted as numbers, not currency. These formatting tips keeps your data clean and easily understood. Use wrap text in your cells so everything stays visible and readable. Next, I will perform additional calculations like average price per unit and profit per product sold. I will also calculate product return rates and sales per employee. Then update the formatting for the rest of the data. At the bottom of the monthly data, I will add totals and copy them across. Remember that totals may not make sense for every metric. For example, profit margin, average price per unit, or total assets and liabilities are point-in-time values, not cumulative ones. For those KPIs, I will calculate averages instead and label the row clearly as total/average. Next quick formatting tip is to set the background to white fill to make the sheet look clean. Now I can add a splash of color to the row headings and bold the titles. As it usually happens with Excel, I ran into an error message when inserting a row. It said I couldn't add more rows, even though this is a super small file. If this happens to you, check out my other Excel video on how to fix it. I will add another row at the top to label and separate the data sections in the table. Above that, I will add one more row for the company name. Then update final formatting across the sheet. Another quick tip. Add some breathing space around your data by inserting one empty column on the left and one empty row at the top. Now it's starting to look much cleaner, but I can make it even better by adding borders around the data and separating different sections. For example, sales by product, sales by region, profitability, etc. For extra clarity, I will insert a narrow divider column between sections to make a more defined separation between data and easier to follow. At this point, the worksheet looks professional, clear, and easy to read. A huge improvement from where we started. Finally, if you need additional calculated KPIs such as the total equity, debt-to-equity ratio, or return on assets, create a small calculation table below your main data. Include ratio definitions as a reference so anyone reviewing your dashboard knows exactly what's being calculated and how. Then go ahead and perform the calculations. Now that the data looks clean and professional, let's make it even more useful and visually clear by adding Sparklines and summary KPIs. To show quick trends, I will insert Sparklines. They're small charts that sit inside a cell and show movement or change over time. Go to Insert, Sparklines, then choose the type you want. I will start with column Sparklines. Next, select the data range you want the Sparklines to represent. Once you have added one, you can copy and drag it across all other columns, just like any formula. Right now, the Sparklines look a bit too small, so I will increase the row height to make them easy to view. You can also add markers to highlight things like the highest, lowest, or negative values. And if you want, try out some of the predefined color themes to match your dashboard's look. The column version, though, looks a little heavy visually, so I will switch to line Sparklines with markers instead. They're easier to scan across the data. Then I will copy them to the rest of my data set. Next, I will add a summary KPIs section using concatenated formulas. These formulas create short dynamic captions that describe each KPI. Great for displaying inside dashboards or summaries. If you simply concatenate your column heading with the total, you will notice that I lose my number formatting. No dollar signs, commas, or percentage symbols. To fix this, first select the number you want to match. Then go to Number Format, More Number Format. Copy the custom format code. Next, go back to your concatenate formula and add the text function before the ampersand. The text function lets you convert a number into formatted text using the custom format you specify. Now you have a dynamic, properly formatted KPI summary you can copy straight into your dashboards. When copying the formula to my profit margin, though, notice the formatting is wrong. To fix that, grab the custom percentage format and replace it in your text formula. Do the same for unit-based numbers. Copy their number format and apply it in the formula. Then carefully copy these adjusted formulas wherever they apply to finish setting up your summary KPI sections. You now have a clean, visual, and readable data table perfectly set up for creating your Excel dashboard. Now that the data is ready, let's start building the dashboard layout. First, I will add a new worksheet and set a white background. This will keep the dashboard clean and easy to read. I will use shapes to build the structure of the dashboard. This makes it easy to size, position, and style each section exactly how I want. I will go to Insert, Shapes, and choose Rounded Rectangle. Don't worry too much about your first shape choice. You can change the shape later if you decide another one will work better. Click and drag to start drawing the shape anywhere on the sheet. To adjust how rounded the corners are, drag the yellow handle inward or outward. At the top, you will see some predefined theme styles. Try a few or customize your own shape fill. I will set the color to a clean professional blue-gray. You can also add shadow effects, but for most dashboards, I prefer a flat, simple style. You can size your shape manually, or you can enter the desired height and width in the format options. If your shape has an outline, you can remove or adjust it under Shape Format, Shape Outline. Once you have a shape you like, duplicate it. You can copy and paste or hold Alt or Control on PC or Option on Mac while dragging to create a new one. I will make several copies to start building the dashboard layout. To align everything neatly, select all the shapes on the left, then go to Shape Format, Align, Align Left. To space them evenly, choose Distribute Vertically. To align horizontally, select Align Top. Keep in mind that Excel aligns shapes based on the outermost one. So make sure the shape you want to set the position or spacing is the one farthest to the left or top. That's the one all the other shapes will align to. After aligning, I will slightly resize the shapes to fit better and avoid overlap. Once the layout looks good, select multiple shapes by holding Shift and then apply a consistent shape fill color. If you would like, you can add a gradient fill by going to Shape Format, Shape Fill, Gradient, More Gradients, and adjusting the color stops. But I will stick with a single solid color for a cleaner look. While all the shapes are still selected, I can go to Edit Shape, Change Shape, and switch from rounded rectangle to rectangle with straight corners. Wow! This gives the dashboard a sharper and more modern feel. Now let's start adding data and labels. Zoom in using the slider in the bottom right corner for better control. I have planned a more interesting dashboard layout, so I will resize some rectangles for variety. Don't ever feel like all the shapes need to be the same size. I will keep 5 smaller rectangles for now, adjust their spacing, and fix their alignment to prepare for adding charts and KPIs next. Before I start adding and linking KPIs from the Data tab to the dashboard, I like to open a new Excel window. That way I can easily switch between the two tabs side by side while linking data. To link data to a shape, select the shape, click into the formula bar, and type an equal sign. Then click on the data point you want to link to, for example, the company name. To format the text in the shape, keep it selected and use the Home menu just like formatting regular text. I will adjust the font, increase the size, and make it bold to make it prominent. Now I'm ready to link my first dynamic summary KPI from the Data tab, the total sales in 2025. However, when I link to the combined title and number into the shape, I have to keep the same formatting for both. That may be hard with longer titles and doesn't let me set different formatting for the number. To fix that, I will separate the title and the number, but still keep both dynamic. First, I will link the KPI title total sales to my shape and format it. If I want to add another piece of data or text, I will need to insert a text box and link it the same way. For the number, I will increase the font size to 18 points and make it bold. I like the contrast. The bold number stands out while the regular title keeps the layout balanced and clean. Next, I will insert my first chart. On the Data tab, I will highlight the total sales by product data. Hold Command on Mac or Control on PC to select non-adjacent ranges. Then go to Insert, Recommended Charts. Sometimes Excel offers a good suggestion here. I will choose a pie chart. It looks pretty basic now, but we will make it look professional shortly. Later in this video, I will show you how to save you custom brand colors so you can quickly apply them to charts and tables Under Page Layout, Colors, Customize Colors. You can also create and apply a chart template under Chart Design, Templates. Templates save not only colors but also layout choices, which elements appear and where they are positioned. Just note, once a chart template is applied, its colors won't change with the Excel theme. You will need to adjust them manually, but I will show you how to do that quickly. Let's clean up the default chart. Since the dashboard already includes a KPI title above it, I will remove the chart title. This immediately gives the pie more space. Most formatting can be done in the Format pane on the right sidebar, which is available when the chart is selected. Depending on what part of the chart you click, the pie, labels, or legend, the available options will change. To change colors, select each series in the legend and choose New Color under Fill. Then go to Chart Design, Add Chart Element, Legend, and I will select to position the legend right side of the pie. Next, I will add data labels and choose to display them in the center. Often the chart's font look random or depend on your chosen Excel theme. To make it consistent, select the entire chart and apply your preferred font. You can format data labels and legend separately. Adjust their size, color, or boldness to match your dashboard style. Before moving the chart to the dashboard, I will remove the border under Chart Format. Then I will press Command+X on Mac or Control+X on PC to cut it out from the Data tab and paste it onto the Dashboard tab. Now I can see how it fits into the rectangle shape I created earlier. To blend it in, I will set the chart area with no fill for background. To resize the chart proportionally, enable Lock Aspect Ratio. This avoids skewing the chart. For extra polish, I will add a little space between slices under Series Options and remove the borders around each slice. Now I have a clean, minimal pie chart that clearly shows total sales by product for a company. And it's nicely styled for a professional dashboard. Next, we will create a line chart showing total unit production by product. First, I will link the total units sold title to another rectangle on the dashboard. Instead of reformatting it from scratch, I will copy the style from my previous title using the Pane Format tool and paste it to the new one. Then I will copy and paste the previous KPI number text box, relink it to the total units sold, and apply the same style for consistency. To build the chart, I will highlight the months in 2025 and the units sold by product. Then go to Insert, Recommended Charts, and find the line chart. You can either cut and paste the chart onto your dashboard or use Move Chart option from the ribbon to send it there directly. Now I will clean it up to make it fit the dashboard style. First, I will remove the chart title since the KPI title above already covers it. Then I will color the product lines A, B, and C using the same colors as in my total sales pie chart. Keeping colors consistent across charts means I don't need to repeat legends. Viewers can easily recognize each product by its color. Next, I will remove the chart fill and border and change the chart font color to white so it's visible on the dark shapes background. Since the legend already appears on the pie chart, I will remove it from here to save space. To resize the chart properly, I will check Lock Aspect Ratio so the proportions stay even while adjusting the size. I will remove the month axis labels since the title already specifies the data is for 2025. Then I will simplify the vertical axis by reducing the number of labels, just enough to stay clear but make it less cluttered. Finally, I will make a few small adjustments to balance spacing and layout. To keep everything aligned, I will lock the shapes in place. I will select them, open the Format pane, Size and Properties, and choose Don't Move or Size with Cells. One more chart that I want to add to my dashboard is monthly sales by product. Products A, B, and C, again, shown as stacked column chart. Just like with the previous chart, I will start by removing the chart title. Then I will color the products using the same colors as before to keep everything consistent and to share the same product legend. Next, I will clear the chart fill, remove the border, and resize it to fit within the dashboard layout. I will change the font color to white and remove the legend, since the colors are already familiar from the earlier charts. I will keep the months on the x-axis, but I will change the text direction so the labels fit better and are easier to read. Finally, I will make a few formatting adjustments to align and size the chart neatly within the rectangle shape on the dashboard. Another interesting visual I can add to my dashboard is a map chart. To make map charts work properly, make sure your data includes recognized geographic locations, such as countries, states, or regions. If Excel can't recognize your data, the chart won't generate correctly. I will select my Cells by Region data, then go to Insert, Field Map. If you get an error, it usually means Excel doesn't recognize the geography. It's best to keep state and country in separate columns to help Excel identify them. I already have that set up, but my map still isn't working. Sometimes you can access map charts through recommended charts instead. And in my case, that works, so I will select it from here. I will start by removing the chart title, updating the font, and adding my own title for the regional cells. As with the other charts, I will remove the background and border to keep it transparent. Then I will resize the map proportionally to fit the layout. The legend takes up a lot of space, so you can either overlay it on the map or move it outside, whichever looks better for your dashboard. Next, I will adjust the map colors to match my company brand palette. If I go to Page Layout, Colors, I can see the current blues are coming from the Office theme colors. If you don't have your own brand color saved, you can choose something simple like grayscale. In my case, I already have my Golden Classic brand theme, so I will select that. You can also choose your own manual 2 or 3 colors under Series Colors. Finally, I will add a title to the map, and that's it. It looks great, shows a variety, and adds a geographic dimension to my dashboard. The next metric I want to include on the dashboard is profit margin, a key measure of business profitability. I will start by applying the same style to my title and margin value to keep the design consistent with the other KPIs. Then I will select a few income statement financials such as total sales, COGS, marketing expenses, and net profit, and insert a funnel chart. If the funnel chart doesn't appear on the recommended charts, go to the waterfall category and select funnel from there. The funnel chart is great for showing how much of total sales is reduced by costs like COGS and marketing, and what remains as net profit. After inserting the chart, I will apply the Century Gothic font, remove the chart title, clear the border and fill, and resize it to fit my rectangle block. I will also change the font color to white so it contrasts against the dark background. Finally, I can choose whether to keep all KPIs in one color for a uniform look or use different color from our brand colors for each category, staying consistent with my company color palette. It's easy to keep all dashboard shapes the same, but that doesn't look engaging. So for this next section of KPIs and charts, I will add some shape size variations to make it more interesting. Since I'm going to display two different data points, average price per unit and profit per unit, I will use separate text boxes for each, keeping them independent but with the same formatting. Next, I will select the months in 2025 along with the two corresponding data sets and insert a scattered chart with smooth lines and markers. I will resize it proportionally, remove the chart fill and border, and update the chart font and color to match the rest of the dashboard. Then I will reduce the number of y-axis labels to make the chart cleaner and update the line colors to my company brand colors. I will color the profit per unit and average price per unit number labels in the same colors as the respective lines. This serves as built-in legend and keeps the chart clear without the legend. Since I'm working with multiple text boxes, I can select two or more and group them. That way I can move and align them together more easily on the shape. I will also update the marker colors and line thickness to make the lines more prominent and cover more of the chart area. If you ever want to remove the curve effect, you can uncheck the smooth line under line formatting. And that's it. It looks great and adds a variety to our dashboard. Now I'm going to create a new rectangle shape that fits nicely between my small and large shapes to keep the dashboard layout interesting. I want to display new and returning customer information. I will link the shape to my Data tab and apply the same formatting as my other title and text boxes with numbers. For this section, I will use a stacked bar chart, which clearly shows the breakdown of total customers. After moving the chart to my dashboard, I will remove the border and fill, then apply consistent font and color styling to match the rest of the dashboard. To resize it properly, I will lock the aspect ratio, then apply my brand colors to the returning and new customer series. I will also color the total numbers using the same colors as the series in the chart, so it's clear what number represents which bars on the chart. Since the color coding makes it clear which data represents the new and returning customers, I can remove the legend to save space. After a few more tweaks, resizing, fixing the axis units and labels, and removing the chart title, the bar chart fits perfectly on the vertical rectangle and adds variety to our dashboard. To balance my dashboard layout, I will add another large shape in a bubble chart, which is great for showing the relationship between three metrics. I want to highlight the number of product returns, so I will link to the returned unit KPI and return rate from my Data tab. Then I will paste the title and number formatting from my other financial KPIs to keep the style consistent. Here I want to show the relationship between total sales, total units sold, and returns to see whether product issues might be linked to the total sales, units sold, or both. If you would like a deeper walkthrough on how to create bubble charts, check out my Excel bubble chart video. But the main setup is this. Your data must be set up from left to right. Total sales will be on the x-axis, total units on the y-axis, and returns will be presented by the bubble size. I will select these three variables while holding Command on Mac or Control on PC, then go to Insert and select Bubble Chart. Once the chart is created, I will move it to my dashboard to see what adjustments are needed. Right now, it looks pretty rough. I will start by applying a consistent font, and this time I will keep the chart title and update it to clearly describe what the bubbles represent. You always want dashboard visuals to be clear and readable. Even the best design can't fix confusion. Next, I will remove the chart fill and border and change the font color to white so it stands out against the dark background. After rearranging my titles and KPIs, I will fine-tune the chart. Adjust the axis units and reduce the number of labels for a less cluttered view. I don't need to start the axis at 0 since I only want to display returns for products with actual sales volume. I will also increase the bubble size to cover more of the chart area. Then I will try to apply the vary colors by point. That adds too many different colors, so instead I will apply a single brand color to all bubbles and add data labels. Under Format Label options, I will change the bubble labels to show the return number instead of the Y value. By selecting individual bubbles, I will highlight the top 3 months with the most returns and the 2 with the fewest by changing the bubble color and label color for emphasis. After a few small tweaks, this bubble chart looks great. Clear, professional, and a big improvement from where we started. You can also link and visualize individual ratios like debt to equity ratio, return on assets, or return on equity that we calculated earlier on the Data tab. For this example, I will create a donut chart to display my return on assets ratio. First, I will link to the return on asset value and apply the same consistent formatting as my other KPIs. However, if I simply select the return on asset ratio and go to Insert, Chart, Doughnut, it won't work. Excel will search for missing data because a donut chart requires at least 2 values to complete the circle. Since the donut represents 100%, to show a visual for 79%, I will also add the remaining 21 as a second data point. Now Excel has 2 parts to display, and I can successfully create the donut chart. I will move the chart to my dashboard, then adjust few visual settings. Change the angle of the first slide so it aligns better. Increase the donut thickness by reducing the hole size. And remove the chart title and legend, since I will handle labeling with my text boxes. As with the other charts, I will remove the fill and border, then resize it to fit neatly on my shape block. Next, I will dynamically link a text box to the 79% return on asset on my Data tab, so it updates automatically whenever the data changes. A nice finishing touch is to add a pattern or lighter shade to the unused portion of the donut, the part representing the remaining 21%. This makes the visual more readable while keeping the focus on the key number. You can repeat the same method to create similar donut KPIs for other ratios like debt to equity or net margin. Finally, I'm going to create the last large shape and a combo chart to complete the dashboard. I will start by copying one of my existing large shapes, fixing the alignment, and linking the titles and KPIs, total employees and sales per employee. I will copy and paste the formatting style from my other text boxes to keep everything consistent. Creating a combo chart can be a little tricky, so patience is key. I want to display sales by product as an area chart and overlay employees total as a line chart on a secondary axis. If I select my product sales and employee data and go straight to Insert, Combo Chart, I won't get the chart type I need. There's no built-in option for an area and line chart combination. Also, Excel sometimes makes automatic decisions about which series should go on the secondary axis when you have multiple data series, and it was not letting me create what I wanted. So, a better approach is to first create the base chart you want. I will select Sales by Product A, B, and C and insert a stacked area chart. Then I will remove the chart title, update the font, and go to Chart Design and select Data. From there, I will click the plus icon to add a new series to the chart. The series name will link to the employee's cell, and the Y values will be the monthly employee totals. At first, I don't see the employee line appear, but it does show up in the legend. To fix that, I will select the employee series, then change its color temporarily to make it visible, and to confirm it's showing in the chart. Right now, the employee data is plotted as another area chart, which doesn't make sense. So I will select the series, open Format Data Series, and switch it to a secondary axis. Then under Chart Design, I will change its chart type from area to line. I will adjust the line color and thickness so it's clear and visible. Once it looks right, I will move the final chart to my dashboard. As with all the other charts, I will remove the fill and border, change the font to white, and resize the chart to fit neatly on the rectangular shape. To make the secondary axis clearer, I will add a label so it's obvious what the line represents. One way to do that is to add data labels and choose to show the series name. Since Excel repeats the label on every marker, I will manually delete all but one, keeping just one clean label for employees. Then I will apply a more visible color to that label. At this point, I can remove the legend since my product colors stay consistent across all charts and the employee line is clearly labeled. And here it is, my final dashboard. Honestly, it looks pretty good. Very readable, balanced, and interesting. In this last section, we will learn how to refresh and manage your dashboard. From updating layouts and colors to saving your brand swatches, color themes, and chart templates for reuse. Now that we have our professionally set up data tab and a clean, readable dashboard, what if you want to change its look or layout? First, I will select all the shapes by clicking each one while holding Command on Mac or Control on PC. Now I can edit the shapes or change their color all at once. I want more contrast in my design, so I will change the shape fill to black. Oh wow, that actually looks better. If you ever want to change the dashboard layout, that's easy too. Start by grouping each dashboard block, meaning the shape, its title, KPI, and chart. To do that, select all the elements on one block. Right-click and choose Group. Repeat this for each block so they can be moved together as one unit. Now I will make a copy of the Dashboard tab and start reshuffling the group blocks into a new layout. If any pieces move separately, it means they weren't grouped, so I will group them again. Once I reposition everything, I might need to make a few small alignment tweaks, but now I have a fresh new layout that still links perfectly to the Data tab. As a final touch, I can also change the background color of the dashboard. I will select everything, then test a few colors to find one that complements my brand theme. That one matches well. One more thing I like to do is save my color swatches somewhere directly on the dashboard as a quick visual reference, and if you're sharing your file with others, they will still see the correct color used, as others won't have the custom theme or custom colors unless you share your TMAX or XML files. By keeping the color swatches on your dashboard, others have a reference to the exact colors used. For yourself, first, you can save your brand color swatches under Custom Colors for quick access. Type the hex color number, and when the color is identified, drag the color patch to save it in your custom color list. You can also use the eyedropper tool to quickly pick colors, but always double check the hex code before saving to make sure it matches your brand color exactly. Now your brand color swatches are easily accessible anytime you create new shapes, charts, or templates. Here's an example of a dashboard variations using different color themes and alternate palettes you can use for your own dashboards. All of these variations are available in my Etsy store. If you're designing financial dashboards or branded documents, you can create Excel color palettes and full themes to quickly apply brand colors across files. And what is the difference? Here I have the Office 2007-2010 palette. Very dated. I can pick from a few other default color combinations Excel offers. Or I can create, save, and reuse my own business colors. For example, I can apply my Golden Classic palette to these charts in one click. I have 15 total palettes here based on my dashboard template. Each palette supports 2 main text and background colors and 6 accent colors. The preview patches show you the text, background, and 6 accent colors, giving you a quick look at how your charts, tables, and shapes will appear. When I create custom color palettes, Excel saves small XML files in these folders on Mac and PC. So let's create our own custom color palette that matches your brand. On Windows, in Excel, go to Page Layout, Colors, Customize Colors. On Mac, it's a little different. You will need to open PowerPoint, then go to Design, Themes, Colors, Customize Colors. It's the exact same color editor, you just have to access it through PowerPoint instead of Excel, for reasons only Microsoft knows. Once you're in the Create Theme Color window, here's what each section means. Dark 1 and Light 1 are your default text and background colors, basically Excel's automatic colors. Dark 2 and Light 2 are secondary shades that add contrast. Accent 1 through 6 are the main colors used in your charts, shapes, and tables. Hyperlink and followed hyperlink are the link colors. You can also see a live preview on the right to get an idea of how everything will look in Excel. Now I will replace accent 1 through 6 with my brand colors from my saved swatches. If you only have 4 main colors, You can make accent 5 and 6 as simple light and dark grays that keeps the look balanced. I will leave the hyperlink colors as they are, then give the new palette a name, in my case Viridian Brand Colors, and save it. Let's test it. When I select my new custom palette, the chart colors update instantly. But remember, this only updates items that still use theme or system colors. In general, here's what updates when you apply a color palette: shapes, charts, and Excel tables. But regular cells, fills, fonts, and anything manually colored won't be affected. The second, faster way to create or edit your color palettes is by working directly with the XML files. To do that, right-click the file and choose Open with any text editor. The file is an Office color theme written in XML. It's what tells Excel exactly which colors to use for text, backgrounds, charts, and shapes. Let's take a quick look of how it's structured. The first line simply tells the computer this is an XML file. Anything between the less than sign, exclamation mark, dashes, and greater than sign are comments. Notes for people reading the file. Excel ignores those. This line starts the color scheme and gives it a name. Dark 1 and light are your default text and background colors, what Excel calls automatic. Dark 2 and light are secondary versions that add contrast. Accent 1 through 6 are your 6 brand accent colors. These are what show up in your charts, shapes, and tables. 𝗟𝗃 and full 𝗟𝗃 control your hyperlink and visited link colors. And the file ends with this code, which closes the theme definition. Now, if you want to make another color palette, I can just duplicate the file, rename it, and edit the accent colors directly. For example, I will create a new palette called Apple Minimal Blue. I will keep the dark and light colors as well as the link colors, but I will swap the accent 1 through 6 values to different shades of blue and gray. Make sure you remove the hashtag when you add the hex colors. I will also update the comments in the file so it's clear what each color is. Especially useful if I ever share this file with someone else. After saving it, I will open Excel and apply my new Apple Minimal Blue palette. Now all my charts instantly update, and any Excel tables that use theme colors update as well. Just like before, anything I colored manually won't change. Only the elements tied to the theme colors will update. That's it. Now I have created a brand new custom color palette right from the XML file. Now, what's the difference between these color palettes and the themes in Excel? Color palettes change only the theme colors. Themes bundle colors, fonts, and effects. Here is where you can find your custom themes on Mac or PC. To save a full theme, pick your color palettes by going to Page Layout, Colors, then pick your fonts by going to Page Layout, Fonts, and choose the pairing you want. Then save the custom theme under Page Layout, Themes, save current theme, and give it a name. Let's test it. If I have a file with different palette and very different fonts, impact. If I only change colors, the fonts don't change. If I apply my custom theme though, both colors and fonts are updated. Now, when you apply color palettes or themes to your charts, they will update automatically only if the chart is using theme-based or automatic accent colors. If you manually change any colors, these won't update when you switch palettes or themes. Also remember, color palettes and themes only affect the colors. not the chart's layout or formatting. So if you want to reuse your favorite chart layout with specific fonts, elements, and formatting, you will need to save it as a chart template. To create one, select the chart you want to reuse, then go to Change Chart Type and select Save as Template. Give your template a clear, descriptive name, something like Minimal Blue Bar or Simple Line Chart. The colors you save your chart with will become its default colors and won't change with the current theme. But there's a quick way to apply your desired theme colors to the chart, which I will show you later. Let's test it. I will select a basic chart, then go to Change Chart Type, Templates, and pick one of my saved templates. You will see that the layout and chart elements update right away. Fonts, spacing, and data labels all match the saved style. In my case, the colors also change. To fix it, I can go to Chart Design, Change Colors, and choose a different color combination based on my theme colors. Voila! Now with all of these pieces together, you can build a professionally formatted data file, design custom dashboards, and save reusable brand color palettes, themes, and chart templates that keep your work consistent and easy to update. Thanks so much for watching.